awareness, and I've been affected by it with people that I've known through my life.
That's what I was going to say. You don't have personal experience, but you know people who've been through those thoughts and have those struggles.
Yeah.
I think it sort of summed up the tournament, though, didn't it? It was lacking a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
I think it's probably, I don't know, you know, you and I are both there, probably 5 games that you'll remember in
that were amazing.
10, 15 years to come. Yeah, and that's about it.
I was sitting at home watching it. And I think I've worked in the morning, and I actually fell asleep like that.
Oh dear!
Sitting and woke up.
That's never a good sign.
Woke up really, yeah. And actually woke up and said, "Oh, who won?" It was so unexciting for me.
I think the moment and the moths, of course, the moths.
Yeah, if you're talking about moths after a final of a European Championship, you know it was a struggle. Thank you very much, Sal.
Okay. Time now is the friendship that can be, the friendships that are forged across football. Anyway, always like a good cuddle in the morning. Let's get one from Carol with the weather. Morning, Carol. Dan, thanks very much. David Cameron will formally stand down tomorrow, and by the evening, Theresa May will walk through the door of number 10 Downing Street as the UK's new Prime Minister. Before that, there are a few formalities. Well, later this morning, Mr Cameron will chair his final cabinet meeting at Downing Street. Tomorrow, he says he will answer Prime Minister's questions for the last time. And then he'll head to Buckingham Palace and officially tender his resignation to the Queen, recommending Theresa May as his replacement. Ms May will then go to the palace to meet the Queen and receive her invitation to form a government. And Theresa May should then be in place as Prime Minister by tomorrow night. It's still not yet clear, though, when the Cameron family will move out of their flat in number 10 Downing Street. Let's now talk some shit. Thank you so much for joining us today, Michael Dobbs. I do wonder, if you could have scripted this, almost, what's been happening over the last few weeks, many people would have said, you know what, you're just taking things a little bit too far. Remarkable, isn't it? And lots of us now talking, as I was saying there, as our introduction to you, talking about what happens next and seeing what the challenges Theresa May now has. Now, forget about moving out of Downing Street, moving into Downing Street. What, 48 hours to form a cabinet to show that she's presenting a stable government? How easy is that going to be? Great having you on this morning because, as I mentioned in the introduction, you're a special advisor to Margaret Thatcher, and inevitably comparisons are now being made, female Prime Minister with Margaret Thatcher. Do you see any similarities? I ask because not many people know much about Theresa May. Insight into what will happen next. Theresa May, we assume, will move into 10 Downing Street and the offices, take over the offices, get to work. But on a personal level, what happens with that exchange of families?
I'm delighted to say we can speak to Heather Watson now. Where is she? Oh, there she is.
Over there.
Hello, Heather. Congratulations. We heard from Andy Murray yesterday, recovering from his singles win on Sunday. What's the last 24 hours been like for you? To see you sort of skipping and dancing around court afterwards and that sort of outpouring of emotion. Were you aware then at that time about the history of and the significance of the win, or was it just sheer enjoyment at winning a title at Wimbledon?
I'm afraid, Heather, we've got to start thinking about the Olympics now. Tell us your thoughts. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much for talking to us and sharing your joy at your celebrations for winning. We're very, very pleased with you and good luck in the Olympics.
Thank you very much.
It's been an amazing Wimbledon fortnight, hasn't it? And it's nice to see some British tennis stars with massive smiles on their faces.
Big smiles. My cheeks are aching now from smiling with her. It's time to get the news, travel and weather where you are. We'll see you in a while.
See you then.
How do you find someone and what do you look for? Is it all the tall kids?
Which sports are most attractive? Because I think, you know, children see Wimbledon, obviously, see the Euros, you know, be watching the Olympics. What attracts children the most, and how do teachers channel that to their strengths rather than perhaps the more glamorous?
A few sports you could try. So the wider breadth that we can get.
And success stories that you've had already. Helen Glover, I think, is perhaps one of the most incredible stories, isn't it? Because she came along to a selection day. Breadths of sports to try, is there?
You're a man who was found young, went on to win 5 Olympic golds.
I'm not young anymore.
I wonder, having been on centre court and seen Andy Murray do that, do you think we might be referring to Sir Andy Murray in the future at some point?
All off. So just remind us, what are the 5... You're looking for 5 areas, aren't you? 5 categories.
Of skeleton, skiing, snowboarding, right the way through to the traditional Olympic sports, and also netball's involved in there as well.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Pleasure.
Great to have you on as ever.
Brilliant. Time now is 14 minutes to 9. Now, we know that suicide is the biggest killer of men who are under the age of 45. We also know that they are 3 times more likely to take their own lives than women. What we don't know is why.
A barber from Devon is pioneering an initiative to train colleagues to talk to men while they're having their hair cut and hopefully spot warning signs of mental health issues. Breakfast's John Maguire has been to meet him.